Sorry, I had a snafu with my phone there. Anyways, this is the bottom of Pearl Street. And down the hill there's Crawford Village. So again, this is a path. As you can see, it's taken all the time. People come through here on bikes. Unfortunately, there's some graves that are totally covered up. So what I'm going to attempt to do is get up here. It's January in PA, but it's 60 degrees. There's not an actual marking of where she was discovered, but I hope that, by doing this, that someone sees something and, and again, this is 25 years ago, so I don't expect to find anything or anything to that occasion, but, you got to think that if you're dragging somebody up this hill, it would be difficult to do. Now, remember, it's summer, so there's going to be more foliage. It's not going to necessarily be slippery necessarily like it is today. But you can see this is people come through here still. So again, without knowing the exact location, that looks like just like a rain vault. You can see that. But you could imagine in the summertime how hard it would be to see anybody. Now there's a fence, and again, we're trying to look for these. I see the power line. You probably can't see it on the film. But again, the workers up here, not sure exactly what they were doing. There's blankets and shoes up here. I don't know if somebody's maybe camping out here. Certainly, almost. Certainly don't want to disturb them. If you'd be in this vicinity, looking back, all the foliage, I can't say that word right, all the foliage is gone. So just imagine how thick this would be. So we have a little beat out area here with a pair of shoes, a blanket. Obviously this is 25 years ago, so there's nothing here today that's going to help us. Just hoping maybe by showing this, somebody sees, remembers, triggers a memory. Hey, we can't, live like this anymore. Let us say something. This probably isn't the best video. I'm trying not to fall. I got my work Air Force Ones on. And a whole lot of tread left on them. All right. Again, you're from up here a little bit. And you could imagine all these in the summer. This is all green and full. So let me traverse this wet, slippy leaf area. But clearly people still come through here. There's mention that maybe kids hang out here in the summer, having a cold one or smoking a doobie or whatever it is. Hopefully nothing past that. So again, I don't know if that succulent plant will make it, but maybe. You want to come empty-handed, and I don't know, Kimmy, if you're still here, we're fighting for you. And somebody say something. This family's been through a whole lot, too much. Losing one young child, but we actually lost two. So again, it's McKeesport Versailles Cemetery. I actually talked to one of the workers. I actually was under the impression initially this was further down, but I'm gonna go on the other side. And I talked to Jeannie, obviously Kimmy's mom, and she made the walk with the detective that they thought that she made. So, did she know the person? It's hard to really say. I mean, it is. There's not a lot of information. There wasn't a lot to go on back then. Obviously, there's less to go on now. But just get a look at everything here. I don't think, and I'm going to film these just because, but I don't think that any of these, this situation was a situation of convenience. I don't think anybody has any, anything in this area where it's someone's family member or something like that. I don't think, to me, this is not the occasion of that. But I did want to get some filming on everything like that. But again, you see this hill, and in the summer, this is all going to be green. You're not going to be able to see anything whatsoever. Nothing. Some people coming through right now as we speak, using the path. How you doing? Still looking. We're still trying to find who did it. But you can imagine in the summertime, this is all grown in. This is extremely thick. So you could understand how somebody could sit or maybe, lay somewhere for a certain period of time. Again, the idea was to walk through that gate and go to a friend's house. You can see the people use this area. They walk through it quite a bit. We have a couple people here. Kids, and this is the summertime too. You got to think everyone's out of school. It's about to be the 4th of July. We had 80-some degree weather, and here in PA, our humidity is like really high. So you know how bad that is for things. But a lot of cars come through, I'm not sure if these basketball courts were there back then. If they were, they weren't finished like they are now. So we're gonna walk back this way to my car, and then we're gonna go on the other side of the cemetery where she came in at. That'll be Soul Street over there. It's also an area where the famous case, I don't know if you've heard of it, Tanya Cash and Mr. Hose. That's a real name. He was a security guard at the school, and had a relationship with a girl from the middle school. She was about Kimmy's age in Kimmy's neighborhood, so he became a suspect in that too. But that's a very bizarre story. But the adult's always wrong. Right? With a kid, the adult's always wrong. There's just no two ways about it. So I'm going to cut this video here as I get back to my car. Nice guy over there. I don't know if you could see him on the tractor. Steered me in here. But again, it's 62 degrees in January in Pennsylvania. And that is, wow, that's rarer than me passing up a coffee and a cigarette break. So again, we go back to the trail here. Those folks are walking up here. I would imagine that she took one of these two roads here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive up on Versailles Avenue up there, down the hill, down to Soul Street, Cemetery Alley. And you can see where there's houses over there. They live there, it kind of in that area, but a block over. If that helps or not. I don't know how good this video is going to be shot. But as you can see, they have a beautiful soldier's lot. My Uncle Jack's here, my great Uncle Jack, my grandpapa's brother. A lot of old things, beautiful mausoleum. This is an old cemetery. I'm not sure how old, but I'm gonna cut the video here, and we're gonna go to the other side, and we're gonna try to, glean from that angle a little bit if there's anything we can do. But I wanted to do is, if there was somebody watching or following in the cemetery, you're gonna be seen. There's nowhere to hide. Now, if someone's up in this hill and makes like an ambush blitz attack from the wood line, it's going to be hard to see. Were they walking and talking? Did someone approach her and she started walking away, and then, whatever happened? But somewhere in this kind of vicinity, if I'm not mistaken, and if I am mistaken, I'll correct it, shoe number 1 was found. And over there by where we were before where the monument is where shoe number 2 was found. So my initial thoughts, without seeing any case files or anything, is maybe a chase began in this area, somewhere in this vicinity, ended up over there, and then the suspect or suspects were able to get her up in that heavy brush. So, and as we can see, someone appears to be, shacking up there now or something. Obviously 30 years later almost, we don't think that they're involved, but maybe it's a thing, where people hang out. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to cut here. I'm going to take us to the other side of the cemetery.